Have you ever wondered why some truths about human desire never make it into the textbooks? What if one of history's most famous psychologists, Sigmund Freud himself, discovered something so uncomfortable he had to bury it? Today, we're diving deep into the dark secret of female desire, the one Freud was forced to keep silent. And by the end, you'll see that this isn't just a story about psychology. It's a story about truth, fear, and the courage to face who we really are. Let's go back to Vienna in the late 1800s. Freud is young, ambitious, and obsessed with understanding the human mind. He starts meeting women who are labeled hysterical. They faint for no reason. They have sudden paralysis, tremors, or strange emotional outbursts. The doctors of the time think they're just weak or crazy. But Freud notices something no one else does. These women aren't broken. They're repressed. Every one of them has been forced to silence their true emotions and desires. You have to remember the time he lived in. Women were expected to be quiet, pure, obedient. They couldn't talk about sex, anger, or even ambition. Men could express their drive and call it strength. But women were punished for doing the same. So what happens when you bury natural energy for years? It doesn't disappear. It turns inward, it twists. It becomes pain, confusion, illness. Freud begins connecting the dots. He realizes that these women's symptoms weren't random. They were the body's way of screaming out what the voice couldn't say. Desire that had been locked away was now trying to escape. One patient told him she felt like there was another self trapped inside. Her, one who wanted, who longed, who was alive. That terrified society, because it revealed something no one wanted to admit. Women had deep, complex, powerful desires that didn't fit the moral rules of the time. At first, Freud was brave enough to say it. He wrote papers about the role of repressed sexuality, even in women. But when his ideas started spreading, he was attacked from every direction. The medical establishment called him obscene. Religious leaders said he was corrupting society. Even his own mentors distanced themselves from him. And that's when Freud did what so many of us do under pressure. He gave in. He softened his theories. He shifted focus. He turned the truth into metaphor so it would be easier to swallow. In simple terms, he silenced himself. Now, what does this have to do with Stoicism? Everything! Because the heart of Stoic philosophy is truth. It's about seeing life as it really is, not how we wish it would be. The Stoics taught that when we deny reality, we create suffering. And that's exactly what Freud witnessed, an entire society suffering because it was too afraid to face its own nature. Let's pause and think about this personally. How often do you hide your true wants because you're afraid of judgment? How often do you silence yourself because it's easier to fit in? The Stoics believed that living in harmony with nature includes living in harmony with your own human nature. You can't live freely if you're at war with yourself. Freud's silence was the world's silence. He didn't just protect himself, he protected a system that couldn't handle the truth. But every time we dare to speak honestly about what we feel, what we want, what we fear, we break that pattern. We become freer, not perfect, but real. And that's what the Stoics called virtue, living in alignment with truth. Here's the irony. The thing society tried to hide, the raw, human power of desire, isn't dark at all. It's sacred. It's the force that builds relationships, fuels art, starts revolutions, gives life meaning. When we stop shaming it, we can finally understand it. And when we understand it, we can guide it instead of being ruled by it. So maybe the real dark secret of female desire isn't about sex at all. Maybe it's about freedom, the freedom to feel without fear, to express without apology, to exist without having to shrink. That's something both men and women can learn from. Because when we repress any part of ourselves, we lose touch with our humanity. But when we face it with wisdom, we grow into who we were meant to be. Freud's story is a warning, but also an invitation. It reminds us that truth can be uncomfortable, but it's never our enemy. The Stoics would say, don't hide from what is natural. Understand it. Don't let fear silence you, because the truth you hide from is often the truth that sets you free. So, if this story opened your eyes a little, if it made you think about your own nature, then carry that awareness into your life. Observe your feelings, your wants, your drives, not with shame, but with curiosity. That's the first step toward inner peace. And if you want to keep exploring these deep truths about life, emotion, and philosophy, then stay with me on this journey. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that bridge ancient wisdom with modern life. Because the greatest secret of all isn't what Freud hid, it's what we still hide from ourselves.